All right, baby. All right. Welcome to the Gridiron. If you give this video a thumbs up or possibly share this video, that would be absolutely freaking awesome. If you're subscribed to my channel, thank you. If not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live, or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. Description box below, the very top link takes you to my membership page if you want to help support my channel out. I got 3 different membership levels. Each one has their own little perks to them. So once again, if you want to help support my channel, it would mean so much to me, and I thank you in advance. And also, just a little ways down in the description box, there's a link. It takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 9,200 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, my dad. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in this group darn near 365. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied. I promise. All right. Well, first of all, how about them Eagles, huh? Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. Not today. Not today, huh? Down like 24-0, like halfway through the second quarter. Man, you fucking blow. Absolutely blow. Man, good old Howie Roseman spent about $8.7 trillion this year to bring home a championship there to Philadelphia. Man, blow Philadelphia. Absolutely blow. Not only that, but spent all that money, right? And he just kicked all the money down the road. So the team blows this year and it's going to continue to blow because he keeps pushing more and more money down. Man, I love it. Absolutely love it. But unfortunately today, after today's games, oh boy. New York Giants and the New York Jets make a little bit of history. Week 4, obviously, it wasn't just obviously specifically today, but between Thursday and today, they made some history. And, not the good kind, shall we say. So, after the Giants lost 20-15, and the Jets lost 10-9, you can see just a whole lot of field goals going on. And the Jets still had a chance to win, but the field goal right at the end of the game was just a bit outside. And so the Jets had some high hopes for this year, but lost to the Denver Broncos. Ew. So things aren't looking so hot and rosy for the New York Jets. They had a hard time keeping Aaron Rodgers standing up, and that's a problem. Plus, the rain was crappy weather and all and everything, but got to score touchdowns. But so this is unfortunately, obviously the records that they set, or the record that they set, the Jets and Giants was See, September 29th, the Giants and Jets make wrong kind of history in Week 4. Week 4 of the NFL season wasn't kind to the Giants or the Jets. Well, where have we heard that before? You can just say it wasn't kind to the Giants or the Jets, and you just put week and just insert the number in there. Week 2, Week 4, Week 7, Week 10, Week 312. Doesn't matter what week it is. It's usually, a repeating. It's on repeat. Just hit repeat. Week so-and-so is not kind to the Giants and the Jets. Week so-and-so. It's where have we heard it before, right? Both teams not only lost to their respective games, but did so without either offense scoring a touchdown. So they both lost at home, and neither team scored a touchdown. But, it doesn't happen like this specific, because basically they're both playing at home in the same week. It's not, right? They've only played, it says here, the same because they've been since 1984, so they've been 40 years. Actually, this is the 41st season, right? That they're both playing Giants / MetLife Stadium, the Jets and the Giants. So I think it's the 54th time, which it's believed to be the first time that has happened to each team at home. The Giants lost 2015 decision to the Cowboys. We know that. Obviously, all their scoring came with 5 field goals. Meanwhile, the Jets lost a heartbreaker of their own on Sunday to the Broncos by a score of 10-9. Their points obviously coming off of 3 field goals by kicker Greg Zuerlein. So he's the one who missed the field goal right at the end of the game. Giants fell to 1-3 in the season, while the Jets fell to 2-2. Next week, both teams will be taking long plane rides for the respective Week 5 games. Yeah, the Jets will be going across the pond, and the Giants will be going across the country. The Giants will head to Seattle for Week 5, date with the currently undefeated Seahawks, and the Jets will head to London, England, where they will face the red-hot Minnesota Vikings, who with ex-Jets quarterback Sam Darnold. Don't you think he wants to? Right, they're 4-0, but I mean with Sam Darnold at the helm, holy cow! Don't you think he wants a little revenge? Well, not revenge, or I don't know what to say. I don't know. It's been a couple of years since he's been there, but don't you think he would love this? Just this, hey, look what I'm doing, huh? We're 4-0. And then they wind up playing each other, and he wound up beating the Vikings to be 5-0. But, okay, so this is the 57th time that these teams have both played at home in the same stadium in the same week. Now, it could be done. I mean, obviously, like if the Giants were to play, obviously we're talking about, Giants and Jets both playing at home same week. Now, obviously, it can be done. We saw it. The Giants playing Thursday, Jets playing home Sunday. Now, obviously, before, if you go back to 1984, there was no Sunday night games. There was no Thursday night game. But, there was a Sunday game and a Monday night game, right? So it's happened, what did I say, 57 times? The 57th time that these teams have both played at home in the same stadium in the same week. The Jets and Giants have shared a stadium since 1984. They played at Giants Stadium from 84 to 2009 and have played at MetLife Stadium since 2010. Now, they also shared Shea Stadium in 1975. But I'm not sure if the Jets played. I don't know if they played that. I don't know if they both played, because I know in 75, the Giants played a Monday night game, but it was in Buffalo. So it wasn't like the Jets played Sunday and then the Giants played Monday night. I'm not sure if the Jets played a Monday night game at home. It's that I don't know. But apparently just from 1940, what was that? From 1984. Yeah, this is where I got the 40 at. From 84 to 2024, actually it's 41 seasons. So in 41 seasons, the Giants and the Jets have shared the same, the Giants Stadium from 84 to 2009, and now from 2010 to the 15 season, the MetLife Stadium. Right, so 41 seasons. They played at home, both teams at home, on the same weekend 57 times. This would be the 57th time, obviously, because the Giants played Thursday, Jets played today, and neither team scored a touchdown. So that's not good. Not good kind of history that you want to hear. But I mean, the weather today was not conducive to, with the rain and all of that was not conducive. But you got to hand the Broncos, give them a lot of credit. They especially toward the last, whatever. The Jets had the ball, had a ball a couple times. All they needed was a freaking field goal. and Rodgers, they pressure all over Rodgers, knocked him down a bunch of times, sacked him and everything, and just got to give the Broncos a lot of credit. But it goes to show you. I mean, obviously, of course, you can win with as we saw with the Commanders beating the Giants, right? But the Giants didn't have a kicker. That's why the Commanders won with 7 field goals, and the Giants had 3 touchdowns, but didn't want to win it because we had no field goal kicker, right? But let's also not forget, hey, let's tip our caps to the Commanders. I mean, they're 3-1, doing pretty good. Hopefully, they keep their scoring up. Right, when they play the Eagles and the Cowboys, let's hope that keeps happening. Right, I hate to see Washington. They scored 7 times against the Giants. They put up like 42 points today. This, that, and the other thing. So let's hope when the Commanders actually play the Cowboys and the Eagles, they continue to put up points and keep scoring and all that. Nothing I hate more than the Commanders average 712 points a game. Then they play the Eagles and the Eagles shut them out. I'm like, what? So let's hope the Commanders keep the scoring up when they play the Cowboys and the Eagles. So, but the Giants, didn't allow them to score a touchdown, but they did allow them to score 7 times. So not good. But so you can win with field goals. But unfortunately for the Giants and the Jets, they made history today, but they made the wrong kind of history. Whatever happened to Danny Dimes? Remember that guy? Huh? Remember him? Oh, yeah. I remember him well. I mean, after all, right? I mean, isn't that why he got his name? Right? I mean, it's not a dime, right? Really? I mean, I'm thinking, right, when the guy's cutting across the middle, you throw, that's not a dime. A dime is dropping that baby, dropping a dime, right? 30, 40 yards, 50 down the sideline, guy running, boom, right? That's a dime, right? Whatever happened to that guy? It's more like, I guess, what would you call it? What do they call him? Danny Nichols. Maybe Danny Pennies. I don't know. I mean, it's just, maybe he's got to get back into the routine. I mean, the short throws, intermediate throws, not doing bad. Not because he's making some nice decisions, right? But I mean, Brian Baldinger pointed it out. He said, and I think Carl Banks pointed it out as well too. I think he said, like with the Cowboys, right? Like what the one pass with the along with the CD Lamb and all that. The Cowboys were making the most when they had an opportunity, right? They made the most of them. So they only had a couple. And they cashed in on them. Right? I mean, if you told me, you'd say, Jeff, you know what? After Thursday night, the Giant Cowboy game, Cowboys are going to score 4 times. They're going to score 2 touchdowns, and they're going to score 2 field goals. I bet, sign me up, dude. Not meaning that we were going to win the football game, but we're only going to give up 20 points, 2 touchdowns, and 2 field goals. Wow. Okay, where do I sign? Sign me up. But the thing is that, and Brian Balding was pointing this out, there was a throw kind of down the sideline to Malik Neighbors, who caught it. But he was running, and Baldinger was bringing up the fact that, Malik was running, and Dana didn't hit him in stride, and there was a safety that came over, obviously after Malik caught it, right? Malik like almost stopped, he caught it, picking speed back up again, and the safety was able to come over and make the tackle. But Baldinger was talking about was, Malik's down the sideline, right? If you hit him in stride where he's, right? I can't do it. If you gave me 15, 20 throws, maybe I can throw one down there. He would look with these. I mean, I can't do that. But then again, they're not paying me $40 million, right? But, if you can hit him in stride, right? Baldwin was talking about hit him in stride and just let him keep running. Baldwin was saying he might have beaten the safety. He might have taken it all away. But because he threw it, he's wide open. Right. He caught it, and he made some extra yards, but he got tackled because he didn't lead him. Then I think there was, he was pointing out the other one. I think it was a free play. I think it was, but Slayton was down the sideline. He underthrew it, and Diggs wound up picking it off. But I think there was the one Baldwin was talking about I think it was a flag on a play. So it was like a free play. So Slayton's behind the defense, throws it. Slayton's like, oh, I gotta stop. I gotta turn around, and I gotta start coming back to the ball because it's underthrown. It's like, and Baldwin, who's pointing out, and Carl Banks did too, is that, what's up, buddy? Go G-Man. You got it, pal. You got it, brother. But what he was talking about was, you got to hit those. And the thing, it wasn't like, we had one chance. Daniel Jones dropped back in the pocket, whatever. Slayton was down the sideline. If he hit that one play, we could be winners, right? They hit multiple times during the games where if he connects one deep, right? We got a touchdown or a big play. And where he's either overthrowing the guys or underthrowing them. It's like, I don't know. The thing is that when you're doing that, sometimes you're thinking too much. You're just not like just dropping back and just throwing it. You're thinking too much. Or you're trying to like guide it. I don't know if it's going to get better with time, with more practice. Like they're doing this in practice. I don't know why he just can't seem to do this kind of stuff during the game. I don't. There was multiple times during this game where we had a chance. He's either overthrowing the guys or underthrowing them. The guys are running and they got to turn around. Oh my crap, the ball's on you. Because he got his name, Danny Dimes. Because he's throwing, from deep, and the guys, right there. What the heck happened to him? Is it still kind of injury related thing where he needs to, work on it some more, or he just doesn't feel comfortable with his. He looks pretty good in the pocket, moving around, keeping his eyes. We're trying to protect him, keeping his eyes up, right, as he's surveying the field. He's doing a decent job hitting the short and intermediate stuff and everything. But man, he's got to work on those long throws. Hopefully. If you're a pro quarterback and you want all that money, you got to hit those deep ones. And I said, I'm not saying you got to hit 10 out of 10 or something like that, but you got to hit, my goodness, you got to hit what? I don't know, 2/3 of them, 3/4 of them or so. Man, you want that money? They're not just giving you $40 million to hand the ball off and just throw screen passes. You want the money. You got to hit all kinds of stuff. I'm not saying it's easy. I couldn't do it, right? But if you got a guy running down the sideline wide open, not wide open, but he's got a couple yards on a guy that's open in the NFL. You got to hit that stuff. You're just not doing it. What the heck happened to Danny Dimes? Well, hopefully, because you figure we got Malik Neighbors, we got Slayton, we got Hyatt, we got guys that can take the top off the defense. You got to hit those. And we got of course, we got the Steelers coming up, right? We got the Seahawks coming up. So we got some pretty good. The Bengals are struggling. We got the Eagles. who lost. Man, what the heck happened to Danny Dimes? Man, he's got to get that back. He's got to get that back. All right. Man, I'll tell you what, boy, I seen this. I mean, you just seen this during the game, and you're just like shaking your head. It's like when they showed it, it was just like, oh yeah, okay, cool, that's right, oh yeah, yep, all right. We got 15 yards coming our way, baby. Throw that flag on them Cowboys. Oh yeah. Now, to be fair, I mean, the Giants also only had, I think it was like 4 accepted penalties on us. And, of course, somehow this was one of them. I'm not sure if the reps are hitting the crack pipe or what they're doing before the games. But apparently this is not a reviewable. Why? It's not a reviewable call. Are you kidding me? You can't review who pulled the. Are you serious? I mean, they want everything just perfect and all this, that, and everything. And you can't throw a challenge flag on this? Are you kidding me? The guy's pulling his face mask, pulling Bellinger's face mask, and they're calling on Bellinger. Are you serious? Wow. Now the thing is that the way the Giants were going. Obviously, of course, you can't just, but I mean, this was because we were marching, and the 15, thankfully we got a field goal out of it. Thankfully, but it just kind of took the steam out of the drive. You go back 15, it's not a 15 yards. It took the steam out of the drive. But as I said, I mean, obviously you can't, I don't want to assume, well, the Giants, of course, they would have scored a touchdown. Well, they didn't score a touchdown all night, so you certainly can't assume that they were going to score a touchdown, on this one. Whether they got inside the 10, the 5, or whatever, you can't assume they were going to score a touchdown. They might have. But even if they would have, right, give the Giants an extra 4 points. What's the final score? 20-19. So, but of course, it's like the butterfly effect. You give the Giants a touch. If the Giants would have scored a touchdown here, other things would have changed possibly during the course of the game, and the Giants quite possibly the final score may not have been 20-19. But like I said, you can't assume the Giants were going to score a touchdown on that. They hadn't scored a touchdown all night, right? It just, and I said, and another thing you can't say, you can't be pissed off or nothing like that, because it said if you look at, hold on, is this in here? Nope. I'm going to pop up the box score here. And I said, you can't be pissed off at all about the penalties, because the Giants had 4 penalties called on for 35 yards. So, I mean, you look at, you look at this, the one penalty I called on Bellinger, 4 penalties, 35 yards. So basically the Giants only called Connor. What's up, buddy? So they only called basically, the Giants only had 3 penalties for 20 yards. So you can't be pissed off about that. And even with this phantom bullcrap call, Giants only got called for 4 penalties, 1 penalty a quarter. I'll take that 10 ways to Tuesday. 4 penalties for 35 yards. I'll take that. What would that be? 17. That'd be 68 penalties they'd be called on. You can't complain about that at all. I mean, basically for 35 yards, that means in 3 games, the Giants would have been hit with 100 yards of penalty yards in 3 games. I mean, sign me up for that. So you can't be ticked off at all, right? Because the Cowboys called 11 times for 89 yards. But, this penalty here should have been penalty number 12, right? So I mean, it wasn't like they called all the penalties on the Giants and the Cowboys got But I mean, you can't really. Are you fucking serious? You can't throw a challenge flag and I think they called it on the wrong team. Oh no, we can't look at that. No, can't look at that. I mean, so it's like if a guy takes a gun out points it at one of our players and shoots him, and he's laying on the ground there bleeding. And they call it wrong. They said illegal gun pulling, shooting the opponent. It's on the Giants. You can't. Are you kidding me? You can't review it. I mean, you can't go to. No, I can't do that. No. Are you kidding me? I mean, let me see. I mean, I got the. Where is it at here? There we go. Okay, hold on here. I mean, this is just absolutely amazing. Got to get. I mean, let me see here. Tweak. Talked about the zone read. I mean, you honestly, I mean, you can't go and he's grabbing his face mask. Him out on the edge. Almost throws him to the ground. And somehow they're calling that on Bellinger. I can't. You're not allowed to review that. The official who made calls called Giants for errant face mask has interesting history with the team, with the Cowboys. Let's see here. So he dialed back to the first. So this was early in the game, right? So, I mean, just because we got screwed here, the Giants had plenty of opportunities to make this right. Giants took possession on own 15, drove down to the 37 in 4 plays. On the 5th play, 2nd and 7, quarterback Daniel Jones ran for 4-yard gain to the 33. The official crew led by Clay Martin called a face mask penalty on the Giants' Bellinger, negating the play. Replays revealed that Bellinger did not commit any penalty at all. In fact, the face mask should have been called on Dallas's linebacker, Overshown. I mean, officials got the call wrong and did not pick up the flag after a short conference. Instead, the Giants, having a 3rd and 3 on the Cowboys' 33, were pushed back 15 yards to the 48. Giants ending up settling for a field goal. So, thankfully, at least they got some points out of it. So you can't complain about that. But let's see, who's to say that wouldn't, but we'll never know. In a game that was settled by less than 1 score, little things matter. They add up. That's not really the only point here. However, NFL analyst Warren Sharp posted this set of facts on his ex-media account. The ref for this game is Clay Martin. This is his 5th Cowboys road game since 2018. Dallas is 4-0 in the other games. Opponents have been called for 34 penalties, 7 more than Dallas, for 298 yards, which is also 64 more than the Cowboys. The timing of these penalties resulted in plus 11.8 EPA edge for Dallas. Big advantage there. Says Warren Sharp. Oh my God, the refs absolutely stink. Called a 15-yard penalty on the wrong team. Maybe we have a different. Oh. Oh my goodness. Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible call. We're not big on conspiracy theories, but we wouldn't be doing our due diligence if we didn't share these facts. In fact, we debunk any conspiracy right now by pointing out that Dallas was called for 11 penalties for 89 yards. The Giants just got called for 4. But this one on Bellinger hurt. They should have picked up the flag. Well, I mean, no, they shouldn't have picked up the flag. But I mean, they threw the flag. There should have been a flag. They threw it on the wrong. They called it on the wrong team. That's the thing at me. It's like, I get it, but you can't review that. Oh no, I mean, no. Yep, but we have a reversal. Yep, the 15-yard face mask on the defense. You can't do that? Are you kidding me? I mean, this only happens every so often. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously there are missed calls and stuff like that. But specifically, a face mask, I mean, tugged, and then they call it on a guy who, I mean, wow. I mean, that's just absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. I can't. Now, Drew Bellinger did have he was his hand, or one hand would look like it was up around maybe under his neck or something like that or whatever. But it didn't look like he had any contact at all with Overshone's face mask. But I mean, you could clearly see. I mean, it wasn't like he brushed his face mask a little bit and it turned his head maybe a little something. I mean, he's pulling it, and I mean, wow, man, that's just absolute trash. Absolute trash. Can't believe it. Now this here, it's just, where is the running game? Huh? Where is the running game? I mean, this is just, I mean, I just, how on earth? I mean, the Cowboys were averaging, giving up like 175 yards a game. Let me go over the stats here. The first three. Now, they didn't give up a lot necessarily to Cleveland. They gave up 93 yards to Cleveland the first week. All right. But, you know, part of the 93 yards they gave up to Cleveland, their defense, right, was that Cleveland was behind a lot. I mean, it was a 33-17. They beat Cleveland. So Cleveland was behind a lot. You know, so Cleveland needed to throw the football. So I mean, they didn't have the opportunity to run. You know, if it was a closer game, I'm sure Cleveland would have ran the ball more. They would have got a lot more rushing yards. But I mean, then the next two games, I mean, Dallas gave up 190 yards to the Saints, 274 yards to the Ravens. Now, obviously, you know, of course, yeah, the Ravens, you know, if you saw Derrick Henry run to the first play from scrimmage for the Ravens, he went 87 yards for a touchdown. So, I mean, yeah, they got a couple of good guys that can really run the ball, right? But I mean, they're giving up almost like 175 yards a game, and the Giants ran the ball, is it 24 times? Let's see. That's it, huh? Let me click on this box score. 24 times they ran the ball for 26 yards. I mean, where are we at here? 24 times ran the ball for 26 yards. I mean, 24 times, 26 yards. And the thing was also, it was the week before when we beat Cleveland. Right, we couldn't run against Minnesota. I mean, the Giants, if you, let's see here, the Giants have not been able to run the ball very well at all. They ran the ball 74 yards against Minnesota. Now, to be fair, against Minnesota, you know, we were down. Yeah, you're losing 28-6. You're not running the football. You're down 21-6. Chances are you're not going to run the football that much. But what do we have? We had 129 yards against the Commanders. We did a nice job there mixing things up, but Commanders did not have a very good defense. Then we got 112 yards against Cleveland, but the thing is, with the 112 yards from Cleveland, we ran Singletary ran 43 yards right at the end of the game. So you subtract that 1-1. I mean, the Giants had like 70 yards rushing. 70 yards rushing against Cleveland. We ran the ball 20-something times. We averaged like 2.5 yards a carry, I think it was, against Cleveland. Here, against, at the time, was the worst run defense in the NFL. We averaged 1 yard a carry. We ran the ball 24 times, 26 yards. Now, you can say, well, we don't have Saquon. No, that doesn't matter. I mean, when you got 1 yard a carry, are you kidding me? Wow. Now, one thing I heard somebody was saying, they talked to John Runyon after the game was over in the locker room, and he kind of made some type of a statement. He said something along the lines like, we thought we were blocking the wrong people because, what they saw on tape, the Giants would come to the line of scrimmage and all, and they would make their calls. And when they made their calls on who was supposed to, which way they were going to slide or this or that, the Cowboys did things different than what they had done early, like they changed stuff up. Like Runyon was kind of saying, every time we picked up somebody to block or which way we were supposed to slide, or if we were supposed to go to this shoulder or that, or whatever it was, we were doing it wrong. It sounded like. So, but I mean, it just, where is the running at? My goodness. Got this here. It says, discipline, the key ingredient in Cowboys run defense turnaround. They got, so the Cowboys won the football game, blah, 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 blah. Isn't something that comes with a merit badge these days, as they won their 7th straight against the Giants, 13 in a row in games played by Dak Prescott. Cowboys only allowed 26 rushing yards in this game, which is itself is very impressive, as you'd have to go back to the Rod Marinelli days to find a game where they allowed fewer. It was the fact that they did that after looking like a paper bag run defense over the last 2 games, which is true. I mean, they gave up like 450 yards of rushing in the last 2 games. And the Giants got 26 yards in this game. The extremely contrasting nature of what we witnessed needs an explanation, and that's what we'll try to do. As they talk about, the outside had outside contain. The Cowboys had been roasted on the outside in each of the previous 2 games. Anytime they played to the outside, the opposing offense was getting 10 yards down the field before they were even touched. So that was one thing they did. They had contain. It says gap integrity. Discipline was the name of the game for the Cowboys run defense. Not only did they have guys on the edge staying home, but the linebackers played like a group in unison for the first time this season. Mazi Smith shows up in a big way. It all starts up front, is what they like to say. The Cowboys' interior defensive line has been an Achilles heel for them for many years, with some really terrible play coming earlier this year. The team changed out Justin Phillips for Carlos Watkins, but continues to put their faith in second-year defensive tackle Mazi Smith. Thursday night, Smith had his best game of his career, unfortunately. He was getting the shoulder of the Giants blockers, splitting double teams and resetting the line of scrimmage. Giants had limited choices for where they could run the ball, thanks to a greatly improved performance by the Cowboys defensive tackles. Smith wasn't the only second-year defensive player to ball out on Thursday. Overshown continues to flash. Of course, and not get called for penalties as well, too. And then they got Donovan Wilson would flourish in his second cover safety role, seemed a little too optimistic. However, that's not what they say about Wilson. Can't have a key role in a defense. He did a great job filling gaps and shooting inside to help against the run. So Mike is a really good footballer, but the thing is that, it also is kind of, kind of makes you scratch your head a little bit, is that Lawrence, I mean, he's going to be out for like 4 to 8 weeks. I think it was not his heel, his arch. I think they said he taped up his arch or something. Because Daniel Jones rolled out on a pass play. Lawrence was close to bringing Daniel Jones down. Daniel Jones shook loose, and Lawrence after that went off the field, and they taped him up and everything like that. But he's going to be out for like a month or two with his. I think they said his arch. Right. Javon Diggs had to go in. He looked like he was cramped up. So it looks like he might have had to go out and get an IV, bring him back in. Parsons, they took him off the field. So I mean, the thing is like, I could see they get up and all that, but I mean, like their best players were missing huge chunks of time, and we weren't down 20-0, right? I mean, it was always a close game, whether the Giants had the lead or the Cowboys, whatever it was, always a close game. I mean, and then we got their best players like leaving the field, and we couldn't take advantage of that. We got like Mozzie Smith coming in and just totally bitch slapping us. Yeah. Wow, man. We're doing decently with our pass, but I don't know. Does it take longer for the run blocking to start gelling than it does the pass blocking? I don't know, but we can't be a one-dimensional team. If we expect to have any types of success, I mean, it's got to be, it's a team effort. We just can't, we're just going to run the ball because we can't. I'm sorry, we're just going to pass because we can't run. No, you got to run and you got to pass. I'm not saying because we don't have, obviously, Saquon or like that, but Singletary can gain you some yards. I mean, I know he was leading the league in like missed tackles up until week 4 anyway. Yards after contact, something like he was up there, Singletary. So, I mean, he can perform, but, man, we got to do a better job to run blocking. I mean, the thing is just the best players weren't even on the field some of the time, and we still couldn't run the ball. Wow. An embarrassment. All right. Well, of course, I've seen this here. Is the Dable countdown on? Is it time to start counting down the days of Dable? Well, yeah, I know. Of course, I see the articles. Of course, is with Dable, and of course, Belichick's still available and all that stuff and everything. But of course, there's some people. I think it's Chris Caney. Yeah, Chris Caney says Brian Dable is toast. He's done. He's the biggest loser coming out of last night. Daniel Jones has a better chance of being back next year than Brian Dable does. Chris Caney is not much of a fan. That is for sure. But he said that is certainly a hot take from the former Giants defensive tackle. It's great TV radio. Yep. Well, I mean, that's what you got to do. I mean, you got to get these guys to come on there and just say these outrageous things and all that. That way people will tune in. Oh, my God, what did he say? Let's play that. Like, what did Chris Caney say? Like, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, of course you got to. That's the stuff you have to say. But let's see, who is this here? Ed Valentine. He says Chris Caney's take is off base. Ed Valentine says, in my view, it's far too early to write Dable's epitaph. And if you were writing Dable's, perhaps GM's Joe Shane too. Start of the season, a 1-3 beginning is exactly what we said again and again. And Shane acknowledged on Hard Knocks was the type of thing this regime could ill afford. Has opened the door to this speculation. Yep. There's still 13 games left to play. The story of this season is still only in its early chapters. There could be lots of plot twists to consider. Anything of fate at the season's quarter pole is foolhardy. Let's see. Maybe it won't. Point is 76.5% of the Giants' 2024 season remains to be played. So basically 3/4 of the season still remains to be played. Things can change. What anyone believes is an absolutely certainty today might not be the case 3.5 months from now. Dable certainly deserves his share of the blame for how this season has started. Maybe the lion's share, though perhaps 1 or 2 plays from the quarterback, more on that as we go, might have taken him off the hook. Yep. Is it fair to say the Giants could be 3-1 and just a couple of things that happened differently against the Commanders in week 2 and against the Cowboys in week 4? Yep. The Giants had clear opportunities to win both games, and it feels like they should be at least 2-2. Yep. But they aren't. They're still 1-3. And as Bill Parcells used to say, if you're a Giants fan, you know what Parcells used to say about a team's record. You are what your record says you are. Let's see. The Giants offense. Dable's baby has not shown any ability to score more points than it did a year ago when the Giants were 30th in the league at 15.6 points per game. That despite Dable taking play calling from the offensive coordinator Mike Kafka and doing it himself. I'm not criticizing that choice. It was the right one, and I've praised it. So far, though, it just isn't bringing the anticipated and much-needed results. Yep. Yet the Giants are averaging just 15 points per game, a shade below what they averaged a season ago. But Dable can't prevent drop passes. Critical drops by Malik Neighbors in week 2. Remember that? Right? 4th and 10, whatever, 4th and 4, whatever it was. Ball hits him right in the chest, bounces away. Right? Giants possibly win. But our star receiver drops a pass. Does Dable have anything to do with that? Nope. And Wando Robinson, week 4 could have changed the outcome of games. Giants receivers have dropped 11 passes this far, 10.8%. Only receivers for Jacksonville and Cleveland have dropped the ball more often. And Jacksonville and Cleveland, their record is bad too. Dable can't prevent fumbles. The Giants have had a league-high 3 so far, albeit they have played one more game than everyone except for Dallas. Yeah, I mean, Singletary, right? His fumble. Yeah. Actually, Singletary's fumbled a couple times, right? Dable can't run block. Carmen Basile has received a ton of praise so far for his work with the offensive line, but John Runyon's admission after Thursday's game that the linemen weren't sure who they were supposed to block on a lot of plays against the Cowboys was alarming. Weren't sure who he was supposed to block. Because Dallas changed some stuff up. And John Runyon Jr. is like, I don't know. We weren't sure who we were supposed to block. Like we were blocking the wrong guys. Well, is that Dable's fault? Maybe a little bit, but certainly not all of it. That's what you got other coaches for. Dable doesn't possess a remote control that would guide Jones' deep throws into the arms of the receivers rather than over their heads or at their feet or out of bounds. That's Daniel Jones. Jones is just 3 out of 15 for 20% on throws of 20-plus yards behind the line of scrimmage. The only quarterback as a worst in that category is Caleb Williams, the rookie. That obviously isn't good enough. There are missed deep throws against Washington and Dallas that might have put the Giants in position to get different outcomes. If it continues, no one will blame Dable if he opts at some point for the big arm of Drew Lock over the efficiency Jones has played with so far this season. There have been a great deal of discussion about Dable's decision against the Dallas Cowboys to kick a field goal rather than go for a touchdown on 4th and goal at the 3-yard line on the opening drive of the third quarter with the Giants trailing. I ain't worried about that. He took the points. I mean, as you know, still there are times in games that scream for a shot to be taken. The 4th and goal was hardly the only such situation. Dable has passed on this season. Week 1 against Minnesota, the Giants got the ball at Minnesota's 20-yard line after a fumble recovery. The first play, a run up the middle by Eric Gray. They ran 6 plays, never once taking a shot in the end zone. 1st and 10 or 2nd and short somewhere around the defense's 40-yard line seems like a great time to be aggressive. Yep. But by my count, the Giants faced that type of situation 6 times against the Commanders. They took one deep shot. Admittedly, I do not remember the circumstances of every play. Against the Browns, Dable did call back-to-back shot plays to Neighbor in the second half that fell incomplete. But against Dallas, after the 39-yard catch and run by Neighbors, which is the one that Daniel Jones, if he hit him in stride, maybe he beats the safety coming over, maybe takes it to the house. But Jones underthrow me, and I kind of turn around and catch it and then regain his speed again. There's a long article there. Dable and Giants still have 13 opportunities to change the narrative. The way the season has begun has certainly opened the door to discussion about the Giants perhaps moving on from a head coach yet again. The thing is that, I mean, which is true. It's true. Dable can't throw the deep pass. He's on the sideline. He can't have Malik Neighbors at the game against the Commanders on 4th down. Ball hits him in the chest. He can't make Neighbors catch the ball. He can't prevent Singletary's couple fumbles. There's a lot of things. Dable's on the sideline. He can only do so much. Right? But, I mean, you can look at it, once again, it's, we're looking at, it's 15 points a game. It's like, what are we, our better offensive line's better. Now, we do need maybe, obviously, we could really use a good weapon at tight end. Not a blocking tight end. We need a weapon, like a good weapon at tight end, right? Which we had with Waller if he didn't retire. But so we definitely need. But I mean, you can also see, as I said, there's still 13 more chances to turn this thing around. But I mean, it's like we didn't have a kicker against the Commanders. I mean, how often does that wind up happening? It happens, sure. But how often does that wind up happening throughout the course of an NFL season, where a team just their kicker gets hurt? That doesn't happen that often. Unfortunately, it happened to the Giants. Right? So we lost that game because we didn't have a kicker. So we should be at least 2-2. Right? As Daniel Jones can throw the ball deep, maybe we beat the Cowboys. We certainly could be 3-1. Certainly could be 3-1. And I said, once again, we got 13 more games to go. Now you can certainly look. I mean, Daniel Jones throws the pick 6. We lose 28-6 to the Vikings. But as of right now, newsflash: Vikings are pretty good. Right, but I mean, you can certainly see where the Giants would be 3-1. So we got 13 more games to go. We got 10 days off. Right, we're going across the country. We're getting out of Dodge. We're going to play a very good Seattle Seahawks team. They're a good team. They're not the 72 Dolphins or not like that. Any given Sunday, any team could win. So we'll go out there, give it their best, and see where it goes. But is the Dable countdown on? It's way too early. Way too early. To go. So I have to. And it's obviously it's not up for us to say. It's up to there's John Maurer at the end of the season. They sit back and he's like, I see improvement. I see where we're getting better. We're certainly getting better. So that's up to him. All right, guys, it's been 54, almost 55 minutes. Alexandre, and Connor. Hope I said the name right. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate the comments. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you, thank you, thank you. If anybody spends any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.